thanks for joining me for this edition of Let's Talk About It with my special guest, Mr. Jerome Phillips. Jerome, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
No problem.
Yes. What we're doing today basically is talking about health and fitness, and because it's the new year, so many people tend to set, these New Year's resolutions, and so often they fail at achieving the New Year's resolution. And knowing that you have the personal training background, first of all, let me go back a little bit.
Okay.
How did you even begin personal training and get into fitness?
Well, my background, I used to work in advertising, and I played college ball. And my first one was advertising, and the second one was physical fitness. And I started doing it, so I started having more people to ask me, hey, well, how do you work on this? What do you do with this? And then I was like, okay, all right, why not give that a try? So I took a chance, and I always loved it, and it just blossomed from there. And it's been about 20 years since I've been doing it.
Wow, 20 years. That's a long time. That also speaks to your level of commitment.
Oh, yes.
Which leads me into the next point. When you begin your New Year's resolution, you have to be committed. Because if you don't become committed, you will definitely fail.
Absolutely.
Which is what we were talking about just a few moments ago before we came on camera. So what are some of the pointers that you can talk about that might help a person to stay on course with their fitness commitment for the new year? Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things I just told you about, when people make a New Year's resolution, it's really they set themselves up to fail, because they say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the commitment is not there. They say, well, I should lose some weight, or ought to lose some weight, so the commitment is not there. You have to get to a point where it is vital that you lose weight, and especially in our community. It just doesn't seem like a priority. And then when you go to the emergency room, we're packed into the emergency room, and there's certain things that you could do. The diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, are prevented by just taking care of yourself and working out. Right.
Okay, so when it comes to working out, let's talk about a beginner.
Okay.
Someone that is not as well versed, perhaps, or as well rounded as you are in fitness. What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's just starting their workout routine for the new year, that's just trying to get going, never worked out before, but they're trying to get on course? How would that person begin the process of taking control of their health?
Right. Good question. Well, what I always try to tell people, make decisions that you can achieve. Okay, you may say, okay, there's a technique you can use called moving the stone. Okay, well, maybe all you can walk from your front door to that first rock that you see.
Okay.
So commit to that. I can only walk from here to here.
Okay.
Then over a period of time, it'll go from here to here. Then as you move, make it to that rock, then you just put a marker down there. So, this is my goal. I made it to here. Then over a period of time, you'll notice that rock or that marker will go further and further.
Okay.
And then the next time you say, okay, now I'm going to jog to that. Okay. Then the next thing you say, okay, so now I'm going to jog from there and back. And it's just simple things. If you make it so grandiose that, like, okay, I'm not going to eat sugar, I'm not going to eat this, and you know good and well that you're not going to do it. So just say, hey, instead of drinking 5 Cokes, I'm only drink 2. Instead of eating a whole plate of pizza, I mean a slice, something like that. So make it achievable.
Okay. So one of the ways then that you're saying to achieve a weight loss goal is not so much in the beginning to just go cold turkey, and just cut everything out, but to take minimal steps, because the minimal steps are more achievable.
Exactly.
All right. So I just want to reiterate what you said. If you're having a big slice of pizza, minimize that.
Exactly.
So instead of having 3 slices, have a slice.
Exactly. If it's something that you can achieve.
Right.
And then if you look at what's we're going through this different, you've seen these different exercise workout programs.
Yes.
And it's not joining the gym. It's not everything's working out at home.
Right.
I got P90X. I got Insanity. So these are not exercise programs that you need equipment with. It's just moving your body.
Right.
Right. So you don't have to have these big gyms, big membership, but what it is a program to get you to move your body. Okay. And then people are seeing tremendous amount of results of just moving your body.
Right.
So you don't have to be, a bodybuilder
Right.
You know, just, you know, okay, you're going to wake up, my workout program is going to be, I'm going to do 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and 10 leg raises, and I'm out. And that's all you can do.
Right.
And then you just build up from that.
Right.
And
do a few more each time.
Each time you do it.
Slowly build
and
it
then as soon as you'll start seeing, you know, hey, I got a waist again. Hey, I can put these pants on. Man, I look good in that dress.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process.
I know for myself, I just recently quit going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I no longer go to the gym. I used to go to the gym regularly, and this, that, and the other. And I just actually started doing, I guess it's calisthenics, where I'm actually using my body weight for my workout. And I've really been surprised at the results that I'm getting from doing that, as opposed to doing a full-fledged weightlifting workout. I'm actually starting to see more detail in my body from the things that I'm simply doing at home.
Because you're actually getting your body to move. You know, you're actually, you know, sometimes, like I said, I've been doing this for a while, and sometimes some people would say, you know, I'll work out. Well, to them, they count their workout when they put the key in the car, drive to the gym, put their bag down, get a drink of water, holler at their boys, holler at their girls.
That's
look
working
what
out.
time it is. Oh, I got to go. And some people will actually do that, consider that's their workout. So now you eliminated all of that, and you went from wherever you're at home, put on your workout clothes, and go straight to work. You know, do your workout, and then you do your workout. So because you're actually doing something,
right?
You know, and sometimes people have different misconceptions of what working out is. You know, and there are different ways of working out. Some people, they're not flexible. You know, so that's a workout program. Some people, they want to run. Some people want to lift heavier weights. Yoga, clearing your mind, which is also to, you know, eliminate stress. So there's different workout programs.
Okay.
You find the program works out for you and stick with it.
Right.
That is the most thing that most people fail, because it'll work for about 2 weeks, a week and a half. And then they go, okay, I'm out of here. This stuff don't work.
Right. And you know what, Jerome? One of the things that I realized in working out and going to the gym on a regular basis, every year at the same time, the gym becomes crowded.
Exactly.
At the beginning of the year, there's like tons of people. I mean, everybody and they mama's mama are at the gym.
Right.
You know, it's like, I'm working out. You can't even find a parking space at the gym because everybody's working out. And so what I learned to do is just kind of sit back when that's happening, so that I don't become frustrated for, you know, with finding machines to get on and things like that. And most of the time, if I wait maybe a few weeks, it'll clear out.
Yeah.
So all those people that were all excited with the New Year's resolutions,
it
all changes. And they don't stick to it, which is a prime example of what we're talking about. Now, you mentioned various ways of working out. How would you recommend that a person find what works for them when it comes to working out?
Okay. What they have to do is figure out what is that they like. You know, do you like running? You know, let's take you. What do you like to do with your workout?
He's putting me on the spot.
What is it that you like to do?
Actually, I like weightlifting. I do enjoy weightlifting.
Okay.
I hate cardio, which is one of the things that I should do a lot of, and I tend to hate it. And just recently, like I said before, I'm doing calisthenics. But I enjoy the calisthenic part, I think. I enjoy that. But yoga is not something I've ever tried.
Okay. Now, what we do as a professional trainer, what I would do, of course, was take the information, what you just said. I know that you need cardio, so I would infuse cardio into your workout, because, you know, you say you want to lose some weight. So I would put that infused in the workout. So what I would do is, like, we'll give you 10 minutes of cardio, then another 10 minutes or 15 minutes of weightlifting. So we need to get your body to go in areas and do stuff that you don't want to do. It's the same thing as your brain.
Right.
You know, you don't take a kid from kindergarten and put him into college. You take him from kindergarten, first grade, second grade. So what we would do, and so what we would do to get those parts that you don't like to do and increase that, and then have your body, you know, crescendo up.
Slowly get up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get more questions in on you in just a second, Jerome.
Okay.
When we return for more of Let's Talk About It with Health and Fitness. Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk About It with my special guest today, the fitness man, Mr. Jerome Phillips. We're talking a little bit about fitness and ways of kind of getting off the couch for the new year, and we're trying to find ways to break the trends of setting the goals and resolutions for the new year that probably won't be achieved because we're not as consistent as we should be.
Right.
So we're trying to find ways of being consistent so that we can achieve the required goal. And Jerome is here to kind of help us with that today and find ways of getting us moving. So for someone that has been a couch potato, how would you recommend that person get started? Would it just be simply getting off the couch, taking a walk around the block? What are ways of getting a person like that started?
Yeah, that's one, getting off the couch. Now, are you asking me as a professional, or
I'm asking you certainly as a professional.
Okay. The first thing is getting them off the couch. Like I said, I've worked in a diabetic clinic. Sometimes too, people are in a depressed mode.
Okay.
So that does play a part of health and health and fitness. If the person is able to want to get off the couch, I would say just getting up and moving. If you have stairs in your house, walk up the stairs a couple of times.
Excellent.
As you're cleaning up the kitchen, maybe as you bend over, extend your hips and bending over a couple of times, or reaching up, doing so you cleaning your house and stretching it. It doesn't seem like it's not something very, very
drastic
big. Yeah, it's just getting up and moving. Take on a project, maybe painting a wall, getting moving that, so maybe you accomplish two things, and that's the first thing, getting moving. And just walking around the block. A good thing that I had one client, he lost like 75 pounds. What he did was we worked out a program for him. After he ate dinner, about 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, he just walked for about 20 minutes in his neighborhood. That's all he did.
Okay.
And
that worked for him.
And that worked.
Wow.
Yeah, and it would work. It would work for you too. It's just we need to get you to move.
Right.
So many people, like you said earlier, that people have the desire. They say they have the desire, but if you really look at it, we talked about these different programs. P90X, Insanity. What I noticed, you have to have a mental shift in your thinking.
Wow. And that is
the most.
Now, he just said something that's very important. Very, very, very important. The mental shift. You have to have your mind there before you can even take the action.
Exactly.
But if you don't get it in your head, then it'll never happen. That is like half the battle.
It's a lot of the battle. You have to project. If you sit down and you talk with someone, what is your physical image of yourself? How do you see yourself?
Right.
If you look in the mirror, you have to have, and also too, faith comes in. You have to be able to look in the mirror and see beyond that image. Say, man, I am much more capable of what I'm exhibiting, showing now.
Exactly.
I'm way more capable, but I'm not doing it. So you have to have that faith to step out there and say, man, I will do this.
Right.
And then once you have that mental picture of what you want and what you want to attain, and you start doing it. And don't worry about being an athletic competitor.
Right.
Just getting from here to there every day, and you will start seeing results. And then your faith will start growing, and your strength will start growing.
Right. I know for me, one of the things that helped me, number one, first when I get the mental picture in my head of how I want to be, then once I begin the process and I actually start to see a result. It's something about seeing a result when you're working toward your goal, whatever your goal is, that motivates you to want a little bit more and a little bit more. So when I get started, I see I've lost a little, I'm like, ooh, I'm doing good.
Right.
It encourages me to keep on doing it.
Right.
But you got to start somewhere. And from what I'm understanding from you is that it's just the little subtle things.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be a big drastic change.
It does not.
But just a little, it's like building a house. You're building it one brick at a time.
Exactly.
And with your workout plan, it seems like that's the best way to do it as well. A little bit at a time. If it was one step, then the next day, take 2 steps.
Exactly.
And keep it moving. For myself, when I'm working out, especially now doing calisthenics, when I first started doing my push-ups, I would do like 15 push-ups, then I'll stop, do 15 more. Now I'm up to 30.
Great, that's fantastic.
So, and I realized that it's a building process.
It is.
And it's definitely not done overnight.
And another thing, let me also too, we want to also to infuse some reality, okay? Don't, like you didn't start off saying I want to do, 100 push-ups. Let's do some reality. another thing about your reality is, okay, you know, you can't go and eat pizza every day, you know, and then fried chicken, and, you know, I'm just, of course, I'm using this as a, you know,
Absolutely.
you know, you can't do these things and say, okay, I'm still going to lose weight.
Right.
You know, there has to be change. When I said about that shift in your mind,
Yes.
the shift has to be in the way you're eating.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you can't, you know, just like if you're, say like you're a coach of a little league football team or basketball team, and you're the coach, and you talk to them, and you say, okay, kids, we're never going to lose a game, we're never going to get down. What have you just done? You set those kids up for failure.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to, you know, lose.
Absolutely.
So it's, you know, it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. You know, of course, it's a whole different program. What you eat, what times you eat. You know, some people, they say, okay, I'm not going to eat carbs. Now let's use some common sense for a minute. Carbs in your body is used for energy. Okay. So if you don't eat carbs at the top of the day,
okay,
you're probably not going to make it to the end of the day, because you need carbs for energy. You want to look at that like landing an airplane. You don't land an airplane like this, you know, nose first.
Right.
You want to coast into the end of your day, like say like about 12 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock, I would start cutting my carbs so you can come in for a land cool coasting instead of crashing. Some people say carbs are bad. Carbs are good, you know, and so because you're using them, because now you're working out. Now, if you're laying on the couch and you're not, you know, just eating potato chips, that will be a carb.
That's different.
That's bad because you're just storing it.
Right.
So you want to use them. Now, let me get that for some people that say, well, he said I can eat potato chips and work out. I did not say that. So you want to try to eat clean also too. Like a good carb would maybe be a rice. You know, something like that. And then cut your carbs like at 3, 4, then you can coast in. And then that's going to help you.
Okay, Jerome, for those of us and myself in studio land, I mean TV land, that may not be familiar as to what exactly carbs are.
Okay.
What are carbs?
Carbs are the short word for carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are like, say like a rice, a potato, oatmeal, grits. Then you have your egg whites. It's a protein and also too is a carb. So carbs are like foods that are kind of mushy. You know, you don't really have to. It's simple complex carbs. A food that are mushy, you don't have to really work them down to chew. You just and it turns into a powder. You know, the powder like foods like soft foods, rice, but you know, potatoes. Your body don't have to work hard to break them down. So that will be a carb.
Oh, okay. So carbs are generally things that your body don't have to work hard to break down.
Like a protein would be like a chicken, fish, beef.
Okay.
You know, stuff like that. Those are hard. You know, those are protein.
Okay. For myself, you know, a lot of times I will hear people talk about carbs and cut your carbs and all that, and I've never really had a definitive definition as to what the carbs were.
Exactly.
You know, unfortunately, I like a lot of carbs. Now that I'm listening to you describe what they are with the rice and the potatoes, love potatoes, I can have them any kind of way. Those types of things.
But since you're working out now, you can have those, right?
Yes, I can have them, but I need to have them at a minimal.
Right.
Because what I find is that a lot of times for me, I can overeat. I'm enjoying my food. I like to eat. If I didn't, I'd be lying. So I understand, you know, that we have to really kind of get control of what we're putting in our bodies and things like that. So as we learn more, we can become better and better and better. And guess what? That's why you're here. To teach us a little bit more so that we can become a little bit better. We'll be back in just a second. Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk About It with my very special guest, Mr. Jerome Phillips. Jerome, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
All right. We're talking about health and fitness in the new year and just ways of maintaining a good, healthy lifestyle. Right?
Right.
Which is what it has to become. It has to become a lifestyle, a way of living. So Jerome's talking a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah, you know, we were talking about before lifestyle, and that's just so important. It's just like, you know, Sunday morning, you go to church, and then after that Sunday, you know Monday's going to come, so you get yourself prepared for work. So you're going to go to work. So here's the work week. Well, in between that, in your lifestyle, you pack yourself for work, and then pack your gym bag because you're going to make this a part of your life. You know, prepare your gym bag, get your gym shoes, get your water, and then you're going to go and do your workout. So it's a lifestyle. So you coordinate your life towards it. Like what I do for me and my wife, what we have is like a friend of mine, we go and we're going to have a barbecue, right? So we already know this Saturday we're going to go and we're going to have some fun, we're going to have some barbecue. So that week what I would do, I would start cutting back on my calories, so I can live my life. I'll cut back on my calories, and so I can be prepared for the party I'm going to go to.
Okay.
So in the same interim, what we're talking about, preparing your life to be healthy, because of what we just said, as you live, your body's going to get older. You're not doing the things like you used to do. You're not, you're not playing sports. You're not a cheerleader anymore, and you still want to fit in your clothes. And there's nothing wrong with understanding that your body is going to get older. That's the way it's designed. That's the way it's going to be. And sometimes some people, they feel bad because this process is happening.
Right.
All over the news, all over TV, radio, you hear about low T centers. From the low T, your low testosterone level.
Okay.
As a male, it drops. And then for a female, your hormone changes. So these are natural stages that happens.
Right.
Okay. So you have to accept it. Allow yourself to be human.
Yes.
Because that's what you are. Your body's going to
change. And so often we do not allow ourselves to be human. And when we don't allow ourselves to be human, we become frustrated.
Exactly.
Because we're expecting an end result that sometimes may take us a little bit longer.
Exactly.
In our humanistic state of being. And as you get older, your metabolism changes.
Metabolism is going to change. That is, as long as you're here on this planet Earth, that's going to happen. Just like I said, for females, the hormone starts to change a little bit. For males, your testosterone level drops, and when you don't understand these different changes, like for the male, when your testosterone level drop, you tend to get bigger in the midsection. Your energy level is low. You're not as quite active as you want to be. Your wife asks you to do something, you prefer to just lay on the couch or do something. Right. You have change in your moods. That's for the male. Right. Then you throw in, if you're married or have a girlfriend and her hormones have changed, you got two people going at it.
Hormonal change.
Yeah, and they go, I don't know what's wrong. So it's a physical change. Allow yourself and understand that these changes are going to happen. And then you do a workout program or a workout routine that's accordingly to you. And then you just start understanding, hey, that doesn't mean, now this is not an excuse not to do anything.
Okay.
You do a workout that's appropriate for you, and your attitude changes and changing your lifestyle. When you were a cheerleader, when you were a football player, you could eat more because you burn more calories.
Right.
Now you're, maybe an executive or you're a house mom or whatever. You're not as active as you used to be, and that's just life.
Right.
Okay. You don't need to. We both know that just like I do, that stress adds weight to you.
Right.
So what's happening? You start stressing because you're stressing and you're gaining weight, and the thing just spirals out of understanding.
Right.
What we want you to do is, take a minute and say, let's assess what's going on. Okay, my body's getting older. I don't have the desire to do these things. So what can I do?
Right.
Once you understand these processes, then you start saying, here's what I can do.
Right.
And then you start doing them accordingly to lifestyle changes. You can't go out there and, tie one on like you used to, just throw them back. Like when you were a young boy.
And think it's okay.
Yeah, and it's going to wreak havoc. Just understand it. I mean.
And a lot of times, too, when you're talking about stress.
Yes.
And stress putting weight on. A lot of times when you're going through that stressful process or stressful period, we eat under stress.
Yes.
I know for myself, I personalize it. A lot of times if I'm stressing out and I feel like I'm not reaching my goal, I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to eat whatever I want to eat, and I'll deal with it next week, next month. And I regret it afterwards because I should have maintained the level of control so that I wouldn't get out of hand. Okay,
I got to ask a question.
Yes.
Now, when you stress, what do you stress out on eating? I want to know that.
I stress out hamburgers, French fries. I'm a big sweet eater.
Okay.
Love cakes. Oh, man. Cakes are, I won't say my enemy, but
yeah.
it's one of those things I need to learn to control better.
Right.
I like sweets a lot.
Right.
And so that's what I tend to lean to when I'm stressing out and things of that nature. And I need to replace that with something healthy.
Okay.
So instead of eating a bag of candy, I know I really should be eating perhaps a pear or an apple or perhaps an orange, something that's sweet maybe, but not as calorically harmful to me as some of the other things would be.
Okay, you know, and again, you want to eat healthy, but you're not going to sit down and say, "Man, I'm going to eat a whole bag of carrots." That's probably not going to happen. So you want to be, you like I said, set your goals achievable. You know, you need to eat healthy. Maybe a piece of fruit, you know, a salad, or you know, the first thing, the eating healthy, eating right, the food has to look good. Okay, that's the first thing of your digestive system. Okay. If it does not look healthy, I don't care how much weight I tell you that you're going to lose eating that. Okay. You look down, you see a dry piece of chicken, a baked potato, not seasoned, and some old vegetables on there. That does not look good at all.
And I've seen that.
Yeah, but what happens is, in this day and age in 2013, there are so many different healthy choices and healthy ways to eat. The food tastes good. So my advice to someone trying to lose weight, make sure the food tastes good. And how do you figure it out? Make sure it looks good also too. If it's not attractive to your eyes, you're probably not going to eat it. And you don't care how good it's going to, much weight going to make me lose. I don't want that.
Right.
You
want flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I do.
Yeah, and that's something inside your body, you know. The flavor has to be there. It has to be attractive to your eyes, to your taste buds, and then you'll eat it. Right. And then you'll get the benefits from it.
Exactly. One of my biggest challenges is seasoning in foods. Okay. You know, oftentimes I want to eat healthy, but I want that flavor. Yeah. I want that flavor. I want that gravy. I want it seasoned well. Most of the time, I want what's bad for me. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so I'm trying to get some control of that.
Exactly. Well, you know, you read in the Bible, man, sin feels good. It's the same.
Now you're really making me feel
yeah,
bad.
But
calling me a sinner.
Well, not per se. Well, you know, I know you, so.
That was good. All right, one for Jerome. We'll be back in just a moment with more of Let's Talk About It. Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk About It with my very special guest, Mr. Jerome Phillips. We're about to wrap this particular segment up, and I think one of the things that Jerome wanted to let you know was...
Well, I want everyone to know, to recognize that to work out, there will be some work. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be just never land. You do have some work, and enjoy the fruits of your labor when you do work. You know, the more you work, the more you enjoy it. Just realize that it's going to take some work and some effort.
It's going to take some work and some effort. I kind of look at that as a bank account. You can't expect to get withdrawals from places that you don't make a deposit. Exactly. So in order for your health to get built up to where you want to be, you got to make some deposits into it. All right? And now, for more information about Mr. Jerome Phillips, you can reach us at letstalkaboutit@yahoo.com, or you can reach Mr. Jerome's email by
is getfitwithjerome, www.getfitwithjerome, or you can email me at Jerome one-on-one, spell it out, Jerome ONE @gmail.com, and or you can reach me at area code 832-563-9658. If you want some more information, I'll be gladly to share that with you.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us on this segment of Let's Talk About It with my special guest, Mr. Jerome Phillips. Thank you, Jerome.
Thank you.